Jim Root on Eloy Casagrande joining Slipknot. He didn't even try anybody else. That's because that's one badass motherfucker. What's up, dudes? Thrash Potato back with another video talking about Jim Root, talking about Eloy Casagrande, talking about joining Slipknot, talking about not even having to audition anybody else. Which, why would you? Dude is a bad player. Anybody that's got to keep up with Igor's old work can pretty much probably keep up with most. Anyways, let's get into it and see what it says. New Slipknot drummer Eloy Casagrande recently opened up about his audition process for the band and about how he came to ultimately join the Iowan unit. Now, in a new interview with Tone Talk, Slipknot guitarist Jim Root reveals that the band didn't even try out anyone else outside of Casagrande. Or, as Root puts it, it was clearly a no-brained or a no-brainer. I don't know which one it is he really said. Once Slipknot heard the dude behind the drum kit. Yeah, dude freaking gets down. He freaking destroys the drum kit, dude. He didn't even want to try anybody else. Eloy's name came up. He contacted us, actually, about wanting to be part of it and started sending a bunch of videos in. I think him and our bass player might have had a little bit of a relationship before. I think they knew each other. They had mutual friends. And Slipknot bassist V-Man's really in tune with a lot of these really great proggy, heavy musicians that are passionate about their instruments. And it just seems like a no-brainer. Goes on to say, and he's really respectful of the legacy of Joey Jordison. That's pretty cool. And Joey was a huge influence on him. And he's so humble. The dude has so much humility. And you could tell he just lives and breathes his craft. To the point where I see his passion and it ignites my passion for my instrument. And I get that because, I mean, I clutch onto a $200 guitar almost in every video because it's always in my hand and I'm always trying to make something with it, you know what I'm saying? Probably why I do all this crap. And Brazilians, South Americans in general, are so passionate about what they do. That's like the understatement of the century, if you know what I'm saying. Our manager told me he was out to dinner with 4 or 5 promoters from South America, and they were all really stoked. They're all like, it's so good that you've got a Brazilian drummer in Slipknot now. We kind of feel like we've won the World Cup. You know, I never really put too much stake on what race or, you know what somebody looks like or what they sound like or any of that, you know. It was always been more about whatever kind of music we could share, but that's cool. I mean, if you're gonna feel that pride, feel that pride. I mean, but you gotta admit, South American metal in general is badass. Probably some of the most passionate stuff you've ever heard. I think that's what I used to like about like Sepultura, for example, back in the day, because it was tight. Like the drumming, for example. I mean, the guitar, bass, everything, of course, but like the drumming was like, it was tight. It almost sounded sloppy, but it wasn't. It was precise. Not sloppy, but I guess just loose, really loose. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I'm not a drummer, but it was like, it was controlled chaos. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't supposed to be clean because it didn't sound as clean as it was, you know what I mean? But it was on time. It was precise. It was badass. I don't know. I guess that's the best way I can describe it, but I've always been into that stuff, man. It's a cool feeling. God, he just fits in so well. I don't know, man. I mean, there's a lot of things I could say about it. I'm just glad it happened when it did, and we're lucky to have him. We're really lucky to have that dude, which, I don't know, man. I mean, I guess from the best of what I can guess, it just wasn't really happening with Jay Weinberg. Maybe, I don't know, maybe dude couldn't hit his timing right, or maybe they just didn't get along personality-wise, but it almost seems like there was something behind the scenes that they just didn't get along with the dude as far as musicianship goes. That's a bummer, but I mean, they came up, if you ask me, you know, because I'd be super stoked to have freaking Eloy Casagrande in my band, you know what I'm saying? As for new material with Casagrande, Root said that they've been trading some ideas back and forth, but nothing concrete has formed just yet. I mean, he's the new drummer. Of course, they're gonna have new material at some point. They just ain't got around to it, is what I think he's trying to say. We haven't really started doing that yet. We will be doing that real soon. Yeah, see, exactly, that's what I'm saying. Eloy sent me some drum loop. He emailed me some. Eloy does a lot of drum videos on his own and play-alongs in his home studio and stuff like that. So he sent me 5-6 minute, from the minute long to ones that are a couple minutes long of just him playing drums. And I downloaded those to my computer and I converted them into files that I could import into Pro Tools. I don't know, sometimes these older musicians kind of talk like they're still trying to work around computers just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And that's cool. To me, that's cool as shit. I actually seen a guitar builder show me his designs on file for his like guitar body templates, and he kept saying AutoCAD, and I'm thinking, you know, they use Fusion nowadays. What do you mean AutoCAD? And he was like, dude, check this out. He shows me these 3/4 inch floppies, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I spent some time kind of trying to write some riffs to him, which, man, just to even hear the throwaways on that are probably freaking amazing, dude. How much you want to bet? It was a little bit difficult because he basically sent me 2-minute long drum solos. Oh shit, I bet you those are sick. And I'm not really good at finding a bit, chopping it out, and then looping it to make that like, okay, this sounds like it could be like an intro riff on the drums, and this sounds like it could be like a verse riff on the drums. Because the particular ones that he sent me, it's like a lot of the real stunt drumming and really busy stuff. Oh man, I can only imagine. And I wrote riffs to most of all of it. Holy shit, he already wrote riffs to mostly all of it. I was gonna say, wouldn't it be easier if a drummer kind of sent you like, here's a couple verses, here's a couple choruses, here's a couple fills. I don't know, I'm not a drummer. I would think that, and it'd be like, oh, let me, you know, fill in a couple of these verses or a couple of these choruses. I don't know. I was hoping if I was working with a drummer, he'd go easy on me like that, because that's what I would need. Lord knows, just give me a chorus and I'll try, you know what I mean? Anyways, there's one in particular that I'm thinking about that if it does turn into a song, it's gonna be an awfully chaotic song, and that's exactly what we're looking for, right? Which could be really cool. So yes and no, he's contributing, but we haven't really gotten there yet. We're trying to get all these shows on our belts first, and then it's time to put our nose to the grindstone and start the creative writing process, right? That's what I figured. He just hopped in or whatever. He doesn't even have a cool mask yet. That's my only issue too, is why do you give the new guys in Slipknot just a whatever mask? I get it, you know, let them find their spot or whatever, but I say, especially since we know it's going to be somebody cool, let them come in with the bang, you know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. Anyways, that's about it. I mean, there's a video, but I'll link the whole article in the description. Let me know what you guys think about Jim Root being stoked about having Eloy Casagrande in Slipknot. I know I'm stoked. I think y'all should be stoked. If you aren't stoked yet, you'll get there. If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe, and keep a lookout for these little cartoon jams I'm doing, you know what I mean? They're pretty corny, pretty shitty. I figured after like the first 20, they're gonna get better, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get past that. Number 3 is on the way. Keep a lookout, and if you do, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys checking out this video. Let me know what you think in the comments if I ain't said that already, and we'll see you on the next round. Remember, stay metal. Late.